Okay, guys, we're going to look at the equation of a circle today. So is a circle a function? No. So that's okay. We can still graph it. The equation of a circle is, or the definition of a circle is the set of all points where that are equidistant from a fixed point. So if I have a graph and I have a fixed point that is h comma k and a radius of r, all the points that are equidistant, that was a bad circle, try again, that are equidistant, so also the distance r, also the distance r, also the distance r, so they're equidistant from the fixed point, make a circle. I know, it still looks like a potato. Okay, so where, the equation for the standard form equation of a circle is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared minus equals r squared. So it's basically Pythagorean theorem with a transformation. The h comma k is the center and the radius is r. Okay, if I have we're going to write the equation for a circle with a center at 5 comma negative 7 and a radius that is 6 centimeters. I know that x minus h squared plus y minus k squared is equal to r squared is the equation, the standard form equation of a circle. I need two pieces, the center and the radius, to be able to complete the equation of my circle. Again, the center I see is 5 comma negative 7 and the radius is 6. I have both of these pieces, so I can go ahead and write the equation. My equation is going to be x, the center, the 5 is the h, and the y value of the center is the k, so it's going to be x, opposite of 5 is negative 5 squared, plus the quantity, y, opposite of negative 7 would be positive 7, equals r squared, so 6 squared. I can simplify that to x minus 5 squared plus y plus 7 squared is equal to 36. All right, the next one. On 2 points on the circle are 4 comma 5 and negative 2 comma 3. Ooh, we need to add a piece of information. So 2 points on the circle that are directly across from each other. Okay, so I have 4 comma 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and negative 2 comma 3. Okay, go ahead and sketch in a little circle here. All right, that's okay. Okay, so I need to know if my equation is x minus x minus h squared plus y minus k squared is equal to r squared, I know that the center is a piece I need and the radius. Okay, I don't have either of those, so I need to find them. If these 2 points are directly across each other, I know that this length from negative 2, 3 to 4 comma 5 is the diameter. So how would I find the distance of the diameter? I can just use Pythagorean theorem. So I'm going to count up 1, 2 over 1. So that's a change of 2. And then I'm counting over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. More than that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6. Okay, so change is 6. Yep. So I get 6 squared plus 2 squared is equal to the diameter squared. Okay. Another way to do this would be to look at the x point was at 4 to negative 2. So the change in x would be 4 minus 2 squared plus, let's see, this point right here has a y at 5, and this point here has a y at 3. So the difference of that would be 5 minus 3 squared is equal to the diameter squared. Okay, so we get 6 squared plus 2 squared is equal to the diameter squared, same as what I had before. So 36 plus 4 is equal to the diameter squared. 36 and 4 is 40 is equal to the diameter squared. And then to get diameter by itself, we square root. I get d is equal to the square root of 40. We leave it as the radical because it's more exact. So the radius is equal to the square root of 40 units. And now how would I find the center? Well, the center is halfway between the 2 points. So instead of changing in the y direction by 2, I'm going to count up 1 unit. And instead of changing in the y direction 6, I'm going to count half of that. 1, 2, 3, right here. This is the point 1, comma 4. Okay, so the center is at 1, comma 4. Now I have enough information to be able to write the equation of my circle, which is x minus 1 squared plus y minus 4 squared is equal to the square root of 40 squared. So x minus 1 squared plus y minus 4 squared is equal to, what's the square root of 40 squared? Just 40. All right, so this is the equation of my circle. All right, next, sketch the circle. Identify the center and radius. So right now, this form of a circle is called, this is in general form. Notice all the x's and all the y's are on one side, and there's no perfect squares. So we need to complete the square. So make perfect square trinomials to get into standard conic form, or circle form. Okay, so we do that first by grouping the x's and the y's. So I'm going to group the x's and I'm going to group the y's, and I'm going to subtract the constant to the other side. So I get x squared minus 6x, leave a space, plus y squared minus 2y, leave a space, is equal to negative 6. I need to determine what needs to go in these two boxes right here. So if I use the big X to factor, my goal here is to get x plus or minus something squared plus y minus plus or minus something squared is equal to something. Okay, so I know that my b value normally goes on the bottom and my c value normally goes on the top. This is my c value of my trinomial. Okay, so I'm going to put negative 6 on the bottom, and my b value is negative 2. Okay, now the goal is to get these two numbers to be exactly the same. So how would I split negative? What plus what would give me negative 2? Well, it would be negative 1 and negative 1. Okay, to get my c value, I multiply these. So negative 1 times negative 1 is 1. So I'm adding 1 to make a perfect square trinomial. What does y squared minus 2y plus 1 factor to? That factors to y minus 1 times y minus 1, which is y minus 1 squared. Okay. When I add in this plus 1 right here, I got to make sure I add it to the other side. All right, now we're going to do the other one. So the x factors. So negative 6, how do I split that evenly? That's negative 3 and negative 3. And then multiply those together to give me 9. So I'm adding 9 here. If I add 9 to one side, I need to make sure I add it to the other. Okay, so I get x minus 3 squared. I can see that by the middle of my big X. Now on the right hand side, we're just going to add these together. So negative 6 plus 1 is negative 5 plus 9 is 4. Okay. And look, we're in perfect square, or we're in standard form of a circle. So we can see that the center is at 3, 1, and our radius is equal to 2. It's 4, the square root of 4. I'm going to sketch this in really quick. My center's at 1, 2, 3, up 1, and a radius of 2. So I'm just going to count 2 in every direction to give myself a nice little sketch. Okay, last one. Same thing. So I'm going to go ahead and group my x's. Ooh, but I need to rearrange. So 4x squared plus 12x, I'm going to put those in parentheses, plus 4y squared minus 24y, also in parentheses, subtract the constant to the other side, equals negative 41. All right, I can't complete the square if I have these coefficients in front of my x squared and my y squared. So I'm going to go ahead and factor out the coefficient on both of these. So I'm going to do 4 and then times x squared plus, what's 12 divided by 4? That's 3x plus 4 times y squared minus 6y is equal to negative 41. All right, now I can complete the square for this inside trinomial part. I am going to do my big X. The 3 goes on the inside. How do you split 3? We split it by 3 halves, which is 3 divided by 2, 1.5 times 1.5. I'm going to add in my coefficient, or my c value. So 3 times 3 is 9, 2 times 2 is 4, so I'm adding in 9/4. Make sure on the right hand side, since I cannot forget about this multiplier out here, I'm going to add in 9/4, but how many of those 9/4 do we have? Oh yeah, I have 4 of them, so I'm going to add 4. Okay. I'm going to big X here, negative 6, so we get negative 3 and negative 3 split to give me negative 6. Multiply those together to give me 9, so add 9. I need to multiply 4 times 9 to add to the right hand side. All right, now we need to factor these, so I get 4 times x minus 3 plus 3 over 2 squared plus 4 times x minus 3 squared is equal to, let's see, negative 41, that's fine, plus 4 times 9/4. Let's see, 4 times 9/4, the 4's cancel because we're multiplying by 4 and dividing by 4. And then, so I'm adding 9, and then I'm adding 36. So 36, let's see, 36 plus 9 minus 41. That's what we're doing here. Okay, so that would be 47, so this is 6. 47 minus 41 is 6. Sorry, that's 45 minus 41, which is 4. I knew something looked funny there. Okay, the last thing to do is I don't like these coefficients out here, so I'm going to go ahead and divide both of these, actually this whole side, by 4, which means I also need to divide by 4. I need to make sure I divide the 4 into both of these, so I get x plus 1.5, or 3 halves, squared, plus x minus 3 squared is equal to 1. And that is the trickiest one we've done. And that's it.